Children, I hope you all must have completed the revision worksheet that I sent yesterday. Today, through this video, I am going to discuss the answers to the same worksheet. You all are sitting ready with your worksheets now? Okay, so now let us start. I will discuss the answers through the board over here. You compare the answers in your worksheet and check whether your answers are correct or not. Okay, now let us start our revision worksheet of chapter 1, what, where, how and when. The first is true or false. The first sentence, the Puranas and Vedas are examples of literary sources. True or false? Okay children, what are literary sources? Literary sources are written scripts which give us knowledge and information that our ancestors had gathered, right? Now when these sources are written scripts, of course they will be literary sources, right? So this sentence is absolutely true. Now the second sentence, women and men first began to cultivate crops such as wheat and barley. True or false? Well, children, we have learnt 8,000 years ago when the agriculture started, the first crops to be cultivated at Suleiman and Kirtar hills were wheat and barley. So, this sentence again stands true. Sentence 3. People who gathered their food are called gatherers. Very simple and very easy. The people who gather things such as fruits, nuts, roots, twigs, stones, etc. they are called gatherers. Right? Now sentence 4. The kingdom of Magad was located in the areas along the tributaries in the north of Ganga. True or false? Okay children, now tell me, where was the kingdom of Magad? Even now the Magad is still there. The place is there in Bihar state, right? But during that time it was a very vast kingdom, right? The first kingdom of our Indian subcontinent, correct? Okay, now where does this place Magad lie? It lies to the north of Ganga, on the banks of So again, this sentence is true. Sentence 5. Prakrit was the language used by ordinary people. Yes, Prakrit was the language that was used by the ordinary people. What about Sanskrit then? Sanskrit was the language that was used by the learned men in the past, the Brahmins who wrote the Vedas, the Puranas and other such scriptures, right? River Ganga was addressed as Indos or Hindos by the Iranians and Greeks. True or false? Well children, Iranians and Greeks are the people who live to the west part of Indian subcontinent in Europe. When they traveled towards east, they came towards river Indus. Okay, and depending on river Indus, on base of river Indus, they named the people living on the banks of river Indus as Indos or Hindus, right? So, if we say that river Ganga was addressed as Indos or Hindus, then the sentence is absolutely false. Alright? Number 7. Historians are the scholars who study and write about the past. Yes, we all are historians because we are studying the past, and The people who write about the events that have happened in past after a thorough study of it are known as historians. So this sentence is also true. Okay. Sentence 8. The last sentence of true or false. The word India comes from the Indus, called Sindhu in Sanskrit. Again, this sentence is absolutely true because in Sanskrit language, the river Indus was originally called Sindhu. Alright, Indus name was given to this river by the foreigners who were not able to pronounce Sindhu or who were not able to speak Sindhu as Sindhu. Alright children? Okay. Now we move forward from true and false to our second question. Fill in the blanks. Fill in the blank first. The places where rice was first grown are to the north of the dash. Well, children, the wheat and barley were grown at Suleiman and Kirtar hills in the northwestern part of Indian subcontinent. So, which crop was the other first to grow? Rice. And where was it grown? To the north of the Vindhyas. Okay, that is in the northern part of Madhya Pradesh in present times. Right. Now the second fill in the blank. The meaning of Indus in Sanskrit is river Sindhu. Okay. From which this Indus got its name. So it is river Sindhu. Alright. Now the third fill in the blank. Agriculture began dash years ago. We just discussed it during true and false. Agriculture began 8,000 years ago. Alright. The fifth fill in the blank. Dash is the earliest composition in Sanskrit. Which is the earliest composition in Sanskrit? Rig Veda. The earliest creative work of our learned and extremely knowledgeable ancestors. Rig Veda consists of more than 1000 verses or shlokas, which are known as suktas. Right? The last fill in the blank. Along the river dash, people lived for several 100,000 years. Children, in the earliest times, people settled on the banks of rivers. On banks of which river did the people settle for the longest period of time, and which was the largest habitation site? The largest habitation site was Bhimbetka. Right? It is on the banks of which river? On the banks of river Narmada. Okay. So with this children, we complete the discussion of the worksheet of chapter 1. We will meet again with new lesson, new worksheets. Till then, read your lessons well and gain more knowledge in history. Thank you.